Before we go on to putting the drop duct on, I just want to point something out to you. If you get out in the field and you put a furnace in, and you find that the base of the furnace does not have a plate like this one did not, make sure that you put a base pan in, and doesn't take much, just a piece of sheet metal, and that'll take care of it. But you see that this one didn't come with one. There was actually a filter here. And something else I want to show you while I got it down on the ground. See this little slot right here? Now this is the back of the furnace. See that little slot right there and that little slot right there? Those are intended for the little filter rack. It's a wire that it clips in from underneath there and another wire down there. And it spans through the length of the bottom of the furnace and then comes back and holds the filter in place. Well, that's the source of air leakage right there, and they need to be taped off and sealed up with mastic. Don't just seal it up with mastic, or it'll be tough for the filter holder to hinge up and down like it's supposed to. So just make sure you tape those up. So now we're going to stand this up, put the drop duct on. Now, when I put the drop duct on, you're going to notice that it's not going to be as wide as the filter rack. And there's a reason for that. I am actually going to install it incorrectly so we can show how to fix an incorrect installation. And I'm also going to, later on in the series, install a filter media horizontally on this thing. So that was another reason I got smaller ductwork, so I could show you how to transition narrower ductwork to the filter media. That'll be a good video when it comes up. Don't know exactly when. Alright, so we got part of the drop duct put together. I got 6 foot of it, so this is a 3 foot piece I got right here. But as you can see, I have a end cap. You see the end cap has a little slot for the end of the duct to go fit onto. So, and on this one here, it has a drive edge. We'll talk about drive edges here in a minute. So what I got to do is just straighten this drive edge out and get the channel locks like that, just to open it up. Just to open it up a little bit. And then I'll get my folding tongs. My folding tongs, see? And now, I say I don't like to use a folding bar, but a folding bar would come in handy right about now. You just stick it in there and you bend it back. So, but I don't do that much duct work like this, so I just don't see the point in going and buying a folding bar. So anyway, so now I'm gonna stand it up, move the camera so we can put the end cap on, then we're getting this installed on the filter rack, and then putting the other piece on it. Alright, so now we're ready to put the end cap on the drop duct, and as you see, we have these little slots here that the metal goes into. Sometimes the corners are a little tight. Duct knife. Just open it up like so, like so, like so, like so, like so. And what you do is just take the corners like that. Do is when I get the two sides started, just kind of take the hammer and what that'll keep it from moving on you when you go to put the other side in. take your foam tongs and kind of beat it up. Squeeze it. One half of the drop duct. And it's going to sit just like that. And like I said, you see down at the bottom down there, we have a hole, but like that. You can stick your hand in. But we're going to show you how to fix that when it comes. As you can see, we've got our drop duct set next to our filter rack, and so what we could do it one or two ways. We've got to be able to transfer the measurement, this measurement, and the measurement at the bottom of the filter rack to the drop duct here. So you can do it one or two ways. You could actually set that against there, but see how it's leaning to get it up there, because our cross brakes is actually keeping it. So you can take your tape measure and go from the floor, and you see we have what, 1 3/4 inches, and then up here we have right at 16 inches. So from the floor to here we have 1 3/4 inches, and from the floor to the top we have 16 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer our measurement onto the drop duct here and cut it out and then put it on. And I'll show you how to do that when we get there. Alright, so we're going to get our measurements. I got my Sharpie here. And what I say, we need 1 3/4 inches. So we mark it off right there, 1 3/4 inches. And then we're going to do 16 inches. Right there. And you take your tape measure, go over here. Same thing. 16 inches. And 1 3/4 inches. Okay. And then what you do, remember I showed you the back of the tape measure could be used as a straight edge. You just line those two marks up that you just made. For the filter rack, you see from here to here is 1 inch. I've already measured it. So then what we're going to do now is we're going to take this line here and this line over here that we've already made, and we're going to come down 1 inch. Same thing. We're going to take this line that we've already made and go up 1 inch, and then that will serve as a flange. And we're going to take our flange and we will screw it to the filter rack from inside. And let me get that marked out, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Alright, to get my 1 inch line, I'm not really worried about it, because this is not rocket science. We're going to be good, because the tape measure is 1 inch wide. So we're going to be good. As long as we're close, we'll be alright. So I'm not worried about it. And then same thing over here. Get your 1 inch line. like that. Same thing here. Alright. Now, I would normally use a S-lock just because it's a lot faster, but I did want to show you the tape measure trick. So I'm going to get my S-lock over here. Then what we're going to do on the back corner over here is we're going to put our S-lock on the back, and we're going to draw a line like that, because the S-lock is 1 inch. But we're not going to do anything to this side because this is the front side. So I've got a 1-inch line over here, 1-inch line there, 1-inch line in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut this out, and then we're going to flange these. We're going to flange that one, and that one. And that way that'll give us something to screw to the filter rack. Alright, so we're going to punch a hole here. It keeps me from using the hammer. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to get my new reds and use my new reds. Now, I've got to apologize, because I made a mistake in my very first video. When I introduced the reds and the greens, I said that the reds were rights and the greens were lefts. Well, that's not true. The greens cut to the left, so they are, the reds cut to the left, so they are lefts. The greens cut to the right, so they are right. So I did make a mistake, I'm sorry, and I'm surprised nobody commented about it, but I think PJ hinted at it, but I did make a mistake, and I apologize. But we're all human, so what are you gonna do? So anyway, so this is the first time I've ever used these. I have my favorite ones right here, but I'm not gonna use them for this video. I'm going to cut it out with this. So we turn the corner, and it doesn't have to be neat, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not going to go into it right this second. We'll go into it later on as we get into the transitioning stuff. But now watch when I turn a corner here. The nice part about the offset snips is you get right to the corner there, and you just turn. Gotta love offset snips. Gotta love them. And this, when we get to the edge there, we'll just leave a little bit for rigidness. Like I said, it doesn't have to be 100% neat, but it just is what it is. It doesn't have to be straight, because it's going to be all covered up for the next 20-something years. You get in the corner there, and you're able to able just to turn. Alright, so there's our piece all cut out. Throw it down over there. Alright, so when you get to the corners, what you want to do is you just take your snips, and you have this line here. You just go up with it like that, and same thing in the bottom corner, like that. down here at the bottom, do it. And we will use our greens just for giggles. Like that. So what we're going to do now is going to take our S-lock. Put our S-lock in here like this. And we're going to fold it up. It's kind of an awkward situation we're in. So like that. Sometimes get your folding. Now I would just use the folding tongs, but what happens is if you just use the folding tongs by themselves, you'll get creases, and creases are no good. It looks ugly. But you can use your folding tongs with the S-lock. This metal is a little thicker than the folding tongs. I mean than the regular tandem metal. So there you go on that one there. You can straighten that out. You can straighten it out. Take the folding tongs and do like that. And then since this piece is a little longer, our S-lock is longer than our side piece here, what we'll do is we'll just take it and cut it. Like that. And then same thing, we'll get our folding tongs back out again. And like that. And kind of straighten that out a little bit. And that's that. So now a lot of guys, I don't know if will go through that much trouble to do that, but I'm not most guys, and I don't mind doing it.